Welcome. You already did your session at TEQNation today, but first of all, please introduce yourself. Who are you? What company are you from? And what was your session about today?
Sure. So I'll start. My name is Meer Grygleski. I'm from Chicago, and I work for a company called DataStax, which is based in San Jose, California. And they do NoSQL, Apache Cassandra, essentially, database. And then 2 years ago, they also adopted Apache Pulsar doing streaming. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm a developer advocate there. I'm also a Java champion and also president of Chicago Java Users Group. So
nice.
That's me. Yeah, and then we have Cole. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Turk. I'm working for Blue4IT. That's a small company, consultancy company. And I have an assignment at the Rabobank. And I'm coding, I'm a developer. So I really love it. And I also love to speak on conferences about Pulsar, but also about sustainability. And I really love doing that. So yeah.
And how did you come together to host a session together? Because you live a lot apart, I believe. But
yeah, indeed. Yeah.
How did it come to be a co-session by the two of you?
Yeah, shall I say that? Yeah. Mary lives in Chicago and I'm living in the Netherlands. And we met each other in DevOps Belgium. And there we talked to each other, like, hey, she got questions about Kafka, because we are talking about Kafka and Apache Pulsar. And I get questions about Pulsar. So we have a joint talk now, and she is talking about Pulsar and me about Kafka. And that's how we joined, kind of. And it's also enthusiasm, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So it's complementary for the audience.
Yeah, indeed.
It makes your talk more complete.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
You already introduced your talk from today a little bit, but can you tell a little bit more about what your talk was about today?
Yeah, sure, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so our talk is more about how we can bring out the best of each, right? Apache Pulsar, Apache Kafka, they are fundamentally doing the same thing, distributed messaging, and also event streaming. So we discuss similarities and also then highlight each one of them, what are their specialties, how do you do event streaming with each, and illustrate with some example. Also too, to see how we can bridge the two together, because they should not be, fighting, so to speak, with each other, but it's more like, we can actually get the two to work together nicely. And you kind of highlight both sides and understand them. How do you bridge them together, right? Is that am I correct? Yes.
That sounds really interesting. And
add something to that?
Yeah, please.
Mary is more like an architect, I see it, like a solution architect, something, rather developer advocate, and I'm more a developer. Mm-hmm. So she has a better overview, and I have a better coding view. So that's really fitting together, and that's the magic between us, I think.
And does your session also contains live coding, or?
It's not live coding, but snippets now. I do some live coding, but I show the code.
Yeah, of course.
If I do live coding, then it's a 2-hour session, I think. But we only have 45 minutes. But that's really I love to code. Yeah.
Very nice. And is this a session you're doing more often, or is this a brand new session?
Yeah, tell us where we've been, Mary.
So far, right, this is a completely, I'd say for this year, is a completely brand new session. And again, we met at DevOps Belgium and other conferences before, but it was at Belgium that we decided back in October 2022, let's do something together. So we quickly put something together, and then of course we have our day jobs too, and sometimes hard being different time zones, and we try to talk about things, but we use a lot of messaging, and we message each other almost like for a while, like every day we say something, which is nice, and we're busy, but yeah, that's how we kind of started like talking about and designing our session, and then in between family duties, my traveling duties, children, everything. Children, but we're like decided, make this more like a fun session that's going to be helpful for other people too. So that's what we're able to achieve, we feel. It's kind of making it really fun too. It's, more like, let's not fight. Sometimes on a marketing level, they like to say we're better.
Yeah.
But the thing is, on a developer level, we want to kind of understand our problem and use the right tools for the right job. So that's what we're trying to achieve, and for sure, we can create, see situations that can make the best use of both tools too. Yeah. So
Very nice. And you already talked about you do that by messaging, but did you practice your session using Teams or something like that? Or
Yeah, we have sometimes we have some sessions every week through Zoom. I thought,
right,
or Teams, or
Yeah.
And we are just deciding what to tell the audience, and like more on architecture level, but also on coding level. I already talking about Kafka, so I can use the stuff I already had. Mary had the Pulsar, and so we already had some knowledge about the topic, so that's going pretty easy, right?
and how did it come together this first time in a live session together?
Yeah. Well, actually, I should say, I did mention too, this is our third time to do this session.
Okay.
We
no
did,
problem.
yeah, but so this is May, but we started doing it in Bucharest, right, the first time in last week of March, and then in April we did it at DevNexus too, and then now in May. And
Did
so,
it evolve during this time? Did you change it a little bit because you felt like something wasn't right the first time?
Yes, yes. In fact, that's what we are doing. We keep refining it, I think, right? Yeah, it's just kind of, we are gaining insights as we are working on this topic, and we're also doing our daily jobs, or I'm still talking about, topics that are along the same line. So we realize, we can also talk about this, add something to it, or make some adjustments. So that's what it's a continuously improving content, set of content, right? Yeah. So,
It's more like, Mary comes with the architectural things mostly, and I'm coming with the coding thing. So I learned also something from other conference and think, hey, that could be interesting too, to add it also to our talk. And like some coding stuff I want to add, and Mary more about other stuff.
Totally.
What was the biggest takeaway for your audience today? Where are you most proud of if they take that home after your session?
I think the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
So I tell you something about Pulsar, why to use Pulsar, and why to use Kafka streams. I really love Pulsar because you can integrate everything into Pulsar. So I'm a developer and I want to use just my application I'm already using, and I can just glue it together with Pulsar, and that's pretty nice. And I'm also a developer, so I really love the Kafka Streams API because it's really it's lovely to work with that because it's very functional and that makes your code less complex. So they can work together, right?
Yeah, totally. And that's how I feel. And I feel that we did a very good job in terms of listing out, highlighting each of them and how you can use it and under what situation you can use it. And in fact, there was an audience member who afterwards spoke with me and said, I think you saved me a lot of time, both of you, because I came here and I tried to learn both, and now I think I made my decision what would be more suitable for my situation. So I think that was the biggest
That's a
takeaway.
big compliment as well for you, for your session. Well,
That's right, yeah. So
I would like to thank you so much for having been here, for speaking at this conference, and thank you so much for this interview.
Thank
Hope
you.
to see you again at the next conference.
I hope so too, definitely. Thank you. Yeah.